thankfully, as I always do, the first thing I do when I start up an engine is I check the oil. And the first thing I noticed was that it is really low. But then the second thing I noticed, it's thicker than honey. It's not dripping. That is thicker than honey. Look at that. Motor oil should not do that. Motor oil should soak in. Look at that. There's something wrong. So the first thing I noticed is that the oil was really low, and I always check my engines before running them, so it wouldn't have been that low last I used it. So what this means, that's not motor oil. I have no idea what's in there. I'm half tempted to taste it. It looks like honey, but I'm sure it's some kind of an engine additive. So that means I've got to check my security. And there's a loophole in my security that they found, because that is wrong. Now the next thing I did is I loosened up the screw. I won't be able to do this and hold the pan under. But I loosened the screw up, and I wanted to show you. Well, as slow as it flows, I'll probably be able to show you, and then get the screw back in and get the pan under before it starts to run out. You ready for this? Okay, that's not motor oil. That, people, is not motor oil. Somebody has been here. Tell me what, if anybody has any experience, tell me what that is. I have no idea what that is. But now I know there's a hole in my security, and I need to work on it urgently. Because that is no motor oil I've ever seen. Somebody put, look, it's not even coming out yet. Not even trying to run out. Look at that. I am not happy. Somebody did something to my engine. That's going to take some time to get that goop out of there, whatever it is. I sure hope they didn't wreck the engine in anywhere else any other way. So I just pray that this will be okay once I get that sludge out, and I can get motor oil in there. I'm thinking about running some gas through to try to clean out whatever that is. That's absolutely some kind of an additive or honey. I've never seen something like that. I don't know what that is. That's definitely not motor oil, and I definitely have a breach. I absolutely have a breach in the security. Yeah, well, I have to handle this, guys. I'll be back in a while. It looks like it's going to be a long time to get that out of there. And there's no need for this stuff. There's no need. I don't bother anybody. I don't leave my property for hardly anything at all. I just want to live my life and on the homestead. This, look at that. It's going to be a while. Well, I'm not running this tonight. That's taken forever. So, I guess I can tell you now that I have been working on security. Meanwhile, there was a day or two there that I didn't do any videos. And I started to notice some weird odd things out of place here and there over time. And so I started amping up my security. And I don't know if I should tell you the details or not. Tell me your opinions, guys. My thinking is, if I tell everybody what I've got, let's put that back. I moved that off the oil pan. My idea is, if I tell people what I've got, it will deter them, because if it's impenetrable, then great. Other people will tell me, don't let them come on through and get caught. But I don't like being woke up at night. So I don't know. Tell me your opinions, guys. My thinking is, let them know what I've got. And if it can't be penetrated, then good for me anyway. And, you know, I won't have to worry about alarms going off and running around in the night. That's my preference. But tell me your thoughts. This is going to be a very long time. I have no idea what that is. My oil wasn't dark and dirty like that either. Whatever that is isn't what I had in there the last time I used this machine. I would have never had a brand new machine that nasty dark. Not that that's even motor oil. I don't know what that is. I really don't know what that is. You can see how nasty dark that is. That is absolutely not the motor oil from a brand new engine with low hours on it. Absolutely not. So, and you guys all know I take care of my equipment. I would never let my oil get that dark. But again, that's not oil. That is not oil. I don't know what that is. So it's my oil that I had in there is gone anyway. Really annoying. Well, a good thing I check my engines always before I start them. I gotta run around and check everything else around here that I haven't used in a while and make sure it's all okay. So out here, my orchard, there was a breach in the fence where it was pushed and squashed down. So that's a 4 or 5 foot fence, and then I have electric fence wires above it. But there's a breach, 2 or 3 points. I'm not going to go into all detail, but I'm fixing it up, and I'm putting more wires up, and alarms. Now, again, I'm going to wait on your thoughts on details, but I'd rather not be woke up in the night by an alarm, because likely the person will be gone by the time I got out anyway. So then I'm just full of adrenaline, pumped up, and running around in the night in the cold for nothing. But the alarms, of course, would scare off a person who got in, and he'd probably run out and probably crack his nose or bloody himself nicely for the police to see. That would be a beneficial thing. But trying to decide if I want to talk about the details of the alarms, not exactly the location of the electronics anyway, but of what kind of alarms, so that it will prevent people from coming in, because they fly the drones in anyway. They'll see everything regardless. There's nothing hidden. So love your opinion on that. But I'm repairing the breaches and strengthening and adding more wires, electric fence wires and alarm wires. Anyway, love to hear from you on that. And meanwhile, I'm going to have to spend considerable time improving things out here. Police were here though, and they didn't even come out to see where the fences were breached, which was interesting. Okay, that finally drained. I left it open all night, and the sludge finally drained. Now, I don't know what it is, and there was absolutely... it looks like somebody took the sludge out of a destroyed engine, one that had been abused and never had the oil changed, because there was I've seen some pretty brutalized engines, and there was metal particles I could see it in the night. So it was loaded with metal shavings, which would cause massive internal destruction on this. I think an entire complete takedown and rebuild would be necessary. I don't know if I can clean it. I don't know what they put in it, so I don't know what its effects will be. And I don't know if I can purge the entire engine. So I've collected it in a container, which I'm going to save. And I'm going to experiment with different solvents to see what breaks it down. I'm not just going to, as somebody suggested, a friend suggested, just pour alcohol or gas in, because I don't know how it's going to react with the substance they put in there without testing it. So I'm going to test some of this, samples of it, with separate solvents and see what I can do to break it down. But it's thick. I've never seen such a thing in my life. The cop did look at this. I don't know what's going to happen, but I need it for insurance purposes. And also, Ken has been on the comments. He said he put some corrosive in my brand new log splitter wheel bearings. And sure enough, there's something weird oozing out of them too. So I'm going to have to fix that too. I'm going to have to see if there's a police report. He didn't take notes last night or anything, and so I'll have to see what comes of that. But hopefully, I don't know what our deductible is, but I'm going to have to turn that in. We got freezing rain. So that's a bummer though. Right now it's out of commission, and I think that's like $700 at Harbor Freight. I'll have to see, but that's done for now. I can't even I can't even pull it. So whatever it is, it's done. Anyway, I'm gonna go in and get this video up to you guys, and I think I'm gonna have to go to higher authorities to get people to move, because something's got to be done to stop this. My fence was breached. It was smashed down, and well, something's got to be done. Well, somebody's certainly going to ask about the dog. Well, one thing about dogs, you either have an aggressive, mean dog that'll hurt anybody, or a happy family pet that'll take care of your children, but can also get used to people in a neighborhood. That didn't work out too well. I'm going to keep tarps on stuff anyway from now on. The log splitter's tarped to extend its life from the weather, but also it's really loud in the night, and it's also another layer of deterrent. But the biggest thing is there's going to be alarms and more cameras. You know, I've got 2.5 acres here fenced in, and it's an impossibility to have 100% coverage on my budget. So I put them where I thought I would need them the most, and with drones, you know, the drones come right down in here and they look at every detail of everything, and you know, there's just no way until I get 100% 360-degree coverage. You know, there's going to be loopholes, because I know people are going to attack me for that, and there's just not yet, not on my budget. I'm working on it, and I don't think we're going anywhere for Thanksgiving. I think we're going to have to stay home and work on it. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, I'm going to get this video up to you guys.